party, so they all went back to the apartment to kind of catch everyone before they leave. They arrived, they briefly talked for a moment, and then Hemlock came in. He said there were packages and stuff on the doorstep. One package was from Mr. E with some vervain in it, and another was a letter describing the vampire that the Countess had asked Trig to get rid of, dispose of. On top of that, Hemlock said that he came across something in his research about a barbed cross, and said, you know, if we're going to be doing anything that's going to be against this Countess, I want to have this in my back pocket, because I don't like not being able to protect myself if something bad goes down, which brought up a huge tiff amongst the party. And Sarah expressed her views. Trig also expressed his views. Made some comments about Tara and Mira. Tara stormed off. Mira kind of felt alone and not part of the group. Jupiter, Hemlock, and Cal left. Willa expressed her feelings of wanting to do this, wanting to get this barbed cross, to help defeat the darkness. Sarah was explaining, like, why are we fighting fire with fire? Basically, in essence, that was the whole kind of argument and conversation that happened. So things settled down. Some of you left the apartment and went down to the bar. And Trig and Sarah had a little bit of conversation about things, leaving Mira kind of in the dust. Eventually, Mira left and went down to the bar to find the rest of you, and then you all left. They could not find the trio, so your immediate thoughts was, oh shit, they went to the hotel without them, so you guys head to the hotel. The hotel was shown in a massacre of sorts. Blood, magic, remnants, overturned chairs and furniture and things like that, and discovered that there was a dying vampire and said witch. You guys then found out that it was not Nyx, it was not the trio, as Hemlock, Jupiter, and Cal entered into the hotel behind them, and then you continued into the natatorium. After Willa discovered the secret on how to open up the natatorium door, you all entered the abandoned pool, and some thralls crept out of the murky waters of sludge and disgustingness, and you fought 20 creepy creeps. Mira did some cool stuff with getting half of them away from you guys. Tara and Sarah had a cool moment where their Eldritch Blasts intertwined with each other, killing off the rest of the thralls, before you all entered into the catacombs and cells. In one of the catacombs was Eleanor, one of Sarah's sisters, and discovered that there was another witch who was here, and she's just beyond the corridor in the next room. Cal opened the door, and Sarah put her on her back, and you guys continued into the next room. In the next room, it was this definitely contrast between the spooky corridors and cells to the Art Deco style of the hotel, and you noticed that you were in the Countess's living quarters, where there was another woman on the other side of the coffin, and she had just picked out a golden amulet from the inside of the trunk, and Jupiter recognized this person to be Ella, our missing princess. Well, not yet. That sounds about right. Anyone add anything? No? Good?
No.
Okay. So, with that being said, Jupiter looked over to Ella, and she says, Ella? And immediately she turns, and she notices you all, and you can see that her eyes are white. They're glazed over. Remnants of magic is illuminating from her hands, as black, like almost looks like paint, is starting at the tips as it grows across her hand and just is fading upwards into her flesh-colored skin. She looks at you very surprised, and the only thing she says to Jupiter before she erupts in this black, magical, shadowy mess of magic is, "Help me. I can't control it." Jupiter runs over to where Ella had just stood and notices there are scorch marks where her feet would have been as the magic consumed her. And Jupiter, with tears welling up in her eyes, turns back at you all and says, "Oh no."
What just happened to her? She poofed.
Looks a little bit familiar.
You're right, Sarah. It looks like the magic upstairs.
Well, she's definitely not here anymore.
Did Ella still have the amulet when she poofed, like, in her hand? Did it go with her, or did it drop to the floor?
It went with her.
Okay.
I think we should leave.
But, wait, don't we need to find the cross?
Yeah, but I don't like being in here.
Let's go. We have other places to be. Sarah, like, almost turns on a heel with Eleanor on her back, like, she just wants out.
Hemlock, he looks at Jupiter and just like, yeah, coming here was a bad idea. Let's go. And they all head out. Mira, Trig?
Is Willa still in there, or?
She's in there.
Mira's sort of just going to very tentatively put a hand on Willa and be like, look, I know we came for that cross, but after everything that just happened, she's already going to be on a warpath to find who killed her vampires. So the last thing we need to do is accelerate that for the cross being missing as well.
You're right. Right. Alright, let's head back.
Mira's going to head out.
Willow will too.
Trig?
I apologize, I think I didn't have my microphone on. I followed before they had this interaction.
Okay. So, heading out through the catacombs, in the cells, you hear kind of like hushed whispers, non-corporal, just remnants of the torture and vile evils that kind of echo through these cell doors. Most of them are locked. Some of them have decaying corpses in them. In one of the cells, there's a hanging body, and with a sack on his head, and half of his body is missing as the entrails fall out in this black sludge. It's just the smell of decay and rot fill your nostrils as you maneuver your way down this long corridor of cells. Eventually, you come back to the natatorium, where the bodies of the thralls have turned into black mush and goo, as they're no longer figures or bodies anymore, and it seemed to have sludged its way back into the pool. You all have left the natatorium and into the main mezzanine. The mezzanine is still dark, and then you head out into the main lobby of the hotel. The bodies of the vampires and anything else in there is still messy, and fresh blood is scattered across the walls. Eventually, you make your way out of the hotel, and yep.
Wait, there's one thing. I want to ask Eleanor if she recognized any vampires here who are dead, who did that to her, just in case.
Sure. I don't remember, sister. I only remember one. His face was scarred, and kept calling him Garrus or something like that. He's the only one that I remember. He's the one that took me with his band of vampires.
Bad. We'll write this, don't worry.
Just, I need to get out of here and into a bath. You all head out into the streets, and you notice that the revelers and the partygoers of the city are now in full swing as you maneuver your way out of the Ascension Parish and head back into the quarter. It is the night before the big parade, so there's just an abundance of people and travelers and adventurers all along the walls and shitty streets and things like that. You make your way back to Luke's apartment. You head up that wrought iron staircase and into the door where it looks just as you had left it. And you all head into the apartment. What do you do?
Mira is instantly going to go over to Sarah, like, keeping her a respectful distance, but offer... Hold on.
Alarm!
No, it's a phone call. But I can call them back. But it's like, I'll be able to help her. Is there anything you need?
Eleanor, why is this mortal speaking to me as if she can help me? Or Sarah?
Yeah, it's like, oh.
He bows her head just the slightest bit and backs off.
Sarah's just going to, like, look at her and be like, don't worry, she's an elf from our place. She's a healer. And
Okay.
Sarah's gonna be like, fresh water from the stream. and like goes back to the bathroom right away.
Perhaps you can help me. What did you say your name was?
Mira, from the Temple of Yuna in Hollis Creek. Almost like Creek.
Perhaps you can. Can you draw me a bath with Sarah, and I could go for a hot tea?
All she does is bow, and does it specifically have to be from the river? Like,
it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
It preferably, but the magical plumbing will work.
okay. So she's gonna sort of not say anything to the rest of the group and just sort of rush off to explore the house to see where she can start finding a bathtub to prep things.
So in one of the rooms, you find a nice little bathroom. There's a cloth-footed tub, a wash bucket, some early beginnings of plumbing, lots of pipes, kind of the here and there, candles. You find the bath and start drawing hot water. And Eleanor, she is like on the chase lounge, just like, you know, and she looks over at Willa and she says, "You, Haffy, can you get me some fresh sunflowers and mint, please?"
Excuse me?
You heard what I said, Haffy.
And she whispers, and she's like, and she expects me to help her. She shakes her head, and she stands up, and she kind of not necessarily stomps to the kitchen, but like you can sense tension on her, and she goes to the kitchen to search for in the cabinets for mint and sunflower seeds.
In Luke's kind of apothecary cabinet per se, you kind of find some different things, mint leaves, you pick up the sunflower seeds, and a couple other things, dittany, essence of myrtlap, just different types of potion ingredients and things like that. And do you bring it back out to Eleanor? Or, yeah.
Hey, Tara, can you help me in here? I have a question for you, and I don't know if we'll get the chance to later. That amulet that Ella was holding, was that the same amulet from your dream? Okay.
The amulet in your dream looked like there was this long pendant chain. There was a golden circular-looking pendant that was attached to it. Inside of it was a quartz-looking clear crystal in the shape of a pyramid, or a prism, I guess is probably the better way. And there's intricate markings all around the amulet. It could have been, just from the brief glance you saw from what Ella had, it was remnant, but there wasn't enough time to really take in its feature.
Well, we'll have to find her sooner or later. We have to help her. She said help me. But I think your guess is as good as mine, but that magic didn't look good. I have no idea what happened to her. Maybe, but we're just pulling at straws here. I best go bring these ingredients to the full elf princess in there. I still can't believe she called me that. But yes, but it's just the way she said it. No, it's fine. I am a half elf. That's who I am. But the way she said it, her tone, it made me think as if I was lower than her in some society or status. I don't know. It just rubbed me the wrong way. The way she went about it. But
From the living room, you hear Eleanor call out. She says, "It really shouldn't take this long."
I guess I will. And Willow puts on this fake smile, and she quickly turns around and she returns with the bottles of stuff that she grabbed, like, you know, the sunflower seeds, the mint. She grabbed some Bitney and other little things that she remembers seeing in her own father's cabinets. And she walks up to Eleanor and she's like, "Where do you want them?"
adequate. Put them in the bath. Does anyone have any milk? Me? Oh, no, dear. I'll remember that. Sarah?
Sarah's very agitated, by the way. Like, pacing back and forth looking out the window, and she's gonna turn back, like, yes?
Your other human friend won't get me milk.
So,
Is there some in this hovel?
Sarah's gonna, like, glare at her, because she's talking back to her, basically. And she's like, I'll look for you if you say, please, Eleanor.
She speaks in their language, and she's like, yes, dear, please bring me the milk.
Sarah's just gonna look at her.
Their own language
Okay.
between her and the
Okay.
Court of Harpies.
Okay, I was just curious.
So it's not in particular Elven or Sylvan or anything. It's something completely different, like Pete's Camp.
Very similar.
Sarah, in that
Yeah.
language that nobody else hears, is gonna be like, remember your station. And she'll turn on her heel. Go from hell.
In the icebox, you do find a bottle of fresh milk in there. And you know that she doesn't need it to drink. She wants you to put it in the bath.
It's gonna, like, look at her sister as she walks out. And, like this. And she's gonna, like, remember you're still second born. And so everybody can hear in common. It'll go down the hall.
And she laughs and she's like, you boy with the long hair and muscles, help me up, please. And she extends her arm to Cal, and Cal just kind of like looks at everyone, like blushes a little bit and is like, yes, ma'am. And he goes over, and Eleanor like extends her dainty little hand, and she gets up, and kind of the similar smell of like the right before rainfall kind of fills the room a little bit, and Cal helps her into the bath, and she immediately starts undressing. Nudity is not a thing, in that. And she takes off those rags, and Sarah's in there as well as Mira, and Cal kind of like cowers his eyes and heads back into the living room, and you see more of the puncture wounds, a little bit of light bruising and stuff on her body as she dips herself into the bath that has been drawn, and kind of the milky waters with the sunflower seeds and mint just floating on top. And she says, one more thing, please, sister, dearest.
Yes. And she's gonna be, like, examining her wounds, by the way. Smelling them, trying to smell any scent of the vampire who did this.
You start to see that she's coming back into her own. She's like, is there any lavender candles here?
Does this look like a place I would live?
No, but I do know that you're fraternizing with a vampire. But we'll discuss that later.
She's gonna be like,
Mira?
So I know Mira has incense on her. Would she necessarily have anything that would be close enough to a lavender scent?
Yeah, we'll say that there's incense, lavender incense that you have.
She sort of like pipes up like really quietly. It's like, I don't know about candles, but I do have some incense.
Oh, perfect. I was just beginning to like you. You're much more respectable than the rest of your little clan. Yes, you can light it, set it on the sink, and leave me be. I need some good shut-eye.
She sort of scurries out of the room, and like, it goes in the main room. Once again, still not talking to anybody, but like the minute she leaves their presence, there's this overall like panic on Mira's face that everybody else can see as she's like scurrying around trying to find something to stick the incense in, and rushes back in and starts lighting it.
Yes. Sir, will you remind me to pay this wonderful elf that we have here once we get back to Holyrood?
It's not needed, Your Highness. I very much appreciate it, but and she's just stumbling over her words and like just gives a quick bow and sort of like starts inching out of the room.
No, your services are quite well wanted. I do appreciate it. Sarah, what should we pay her?
Sarah's gonna look
200.
at Eleanor. Stop playing with her. You know she can't accept gifts from us, and she knows that too.
Oh, you slay me with your games. She says this all in their language, She says, fine, I'm just having a little bit of fun.
You already have a better prize besides.
Yeah, I suppose.
Because whoever did this to you owes you a whole hell of a lot more. And you kind of own them.
Vampires are so silly. Their bloodlust is quite interesting. You know, this is one vampire that I met. Oh, it was eons ago, it seems. It was during one of our spring celebrations. He had come to enjoy the festivities, dance throughout the night, and he asked me if he could drain me, or at least take a bite, and we danced. I believe it was about a few months that I had him as my little slave. Oh, the things I made him do. But anyways, and she goes back in the comment, Mira, your services are quite appreciated, but there will be no gifts. You may leave.
I appreciate it, but if you needed anything else, then she's gonna slip out, head into the living area with everybody else, and sort of just slump in the first open chair she sees, and just is gonna have this, deep breathing, calm down moment.
Sure.
Mira, what's wrong?
I've just never treated royalty before. If I slipped up, I could easily not have my head right now. So,
why are you so worried?
why would I not be worried? I know she hasn't told you guys much, but in Hollywood, they're cream of the crop.
But she's not my royalty.
Well, yes, that is true for both cases. I mean, with my main temple being in Hollywood, I still have to sort of, dot my I's.
That makes sense. I didn't know you were from Hollywood. I guess we haven't really gotten to know each other really well.
Lots happened, so it's nothing too bad. She's just gonna keep her head down, sort of don't make me the center of attention right now.
Back in the bathing room, or slowly vines start to grow out of the waters as Eleanor soaks up the waters, and they kind of turn into this lush indoor arboretum. And she looks over to Sarah and she goes, in their language, so tell me, what's on your mind?
Sarah kind of look down at her sister in the tub, and she's gonna be like, many things are on my mind. One, we shouldn't be this close to each other outside of the sanctuary. It's already affecting the weather. Two, why the hell are you here? And why were you there? That should have been one, I guess. But three,
Sarah?
What happened the last 2 summers?
I suppose a lot is on your mind, my dear sister. I can elaborate more. One, it is fine for the time being, as all of the seasons are a little bit in awry, as your entire sisterhood in the Harpy Court, including Mother, has been on the search for you. You disappeared for 2 years, and we're looking for you everywhere, and we've had to make do with the summers. Mother's had to do your duties, and of course, the High Queen herself having to do those is quite looked down upon Holyrood. So, you're welcome for that. For your mother, I'm sure she'd be delighted to know that you're safe. 2, what happened was when on our search looking for you, happened across these vampires who said that they knew exactly who you were and had to find you. I thought I'd toy with them. I didn't think they really realized who I was. And then all of a sudden, this woman came and she told me, follow me, I can tell you all what you need to know. Without trusting better instinct, I was really just looking for you. And then I was attacked. I only remember the one person's name, Garrus was his name. They kept calling him that over and over again. He was violent. I managed to get rid of 2 of them when they were trying to get me into that disgusting hole of a cell. But one of them got away, and that was quite unfortunate. And the one I do believe is Garrus. 3, that's the reason I'm here. You.
And do you know Mother's here, correct? You came with her?
Oh, we came together. You and the rest of us.
The rest of us?
Oh, yes, you haven't known? I figured when you knew Mother was here, you would know the rest of your sisters were.
I have not had the chance to, mingle. I've been actually doing my duty.
Oh, you have?
The 2-year thing was a mishap. That was just suddenly we were transported 2 years in the future. So you may have lost me for 2 years. It's been 2 months for me.
Interesting. Time travel. How did you do this?
One of the witches down there, outside. The one
The
with
witch
purple
has-
hair.
She has the ability to transport you through time. This is unheard of. Not some lowly human witch.
I don't know. I have yet to discuss it really fully with her, because when we happened upon there, she was unconscious, and things have been a little crazy for me to, take a breather and sit down and be like, hey, Papa Squat, let's talk about this whole time travel thing, because that's not a thing, normally, that mortal can do.
You're exactly right. Now, well, now that I have you, we'll need to speak to Mother and head back to Hollywood instantly. I have noticed that the weather has been quite unseasonable around here. It should be the dead of winter, but yet it's humid and disgusting outside.
Well, 1, we are kinda in the south. 2, if all of us are here, of course we're messing with the weather. There's a reason that we stay in Holyrood and it's separate from each other when we're outside of Holyrood.
I guess. I mean, we have a little bit of time before we all have to go depart our separate ways, but... And she starts, bathing herself with the scents and things like that, and she looks over to one of the vines, and a little, sunflower grows from some of the seeds. And she plucks it from the vine, and she says, "Oh, but I love it when you put this in your hair."
It's gonna be looks at the thing this is your season though.
Yes, but don't we just go hand in hand, spring and summer?
Of course we do, sister. We always have.
I do have a question for you. Why are you working with The Walking Dead?
Fun.
Fun. Okay. So, of course, he is your underling. You can command him to do whatever you please, I suggest.
No. But
I read-
I do have plans for him.
Ooh, plans. I want to ask you the dirty details now, because your plans always somehow make life so interesting.
They do. And
Well-
the plans will work out for all parties.
You mean to say you are?
I'm just making sure all parties in general keep out the Fae business, keep the darkness away, and make everything okay in the mortal world.
So when Mother finds out I was kidnapped by a band of vampires, she's not going to want to retaliate.
She might want to retaliate, but I'll talk with her. She'll understand.
Do your princessly duties, and I shall follow your lead. Respectfully, sister.
You know I'm the wisest of all of us.
Yeah, Zelina would like to discuss that matter with you.
I've actually wanted to talk to Zelina. She's been on my mind frequently.
You know, she's the one that really didn't want to come here and rescue you in the first place. She was tired of your harsh light and summer fun.
Summer nights can be fun, though. She needs to learn that.
I've tried to tell her that, fireflies do come out during the summers, and light in the dark, but you know how she can be. So uptight and macabre all the time.
Well, I'm just making sure she's safe because I'm just worried about her. This whole darkness thing. I met somebody, not a love interest, no. He is quite fine though, don't worry, but I met somebody who knows Mother, and I do want to speak to Mother about him because he enlightened me to lots of things.
Oh, who's that?
His name is Xavier. He's some dark elf.
Xavier. Why does
You
that
know-
name sound so familiar?
Exactly. Why? I feel like we met him before. As I don't know, 100 or so years ago. I don't remember. It's a long time ago.
Well, when you discuss matters with Xavier, I'm sure you'll let Mother know our findings, and she'll tell me all about them. But I need to soak in peace.
Well, recover. And we're gonna find that vampire. Don't have fun with him until we interrogate him. Then you can play.
Always having your eyes out for me, sister.
It's my job. I took an oath.
All right. Now let me soak. And she puts 2 sunflowers over her eyes as she relinks and sinks into the murky, milky water.
Tara's gonna look down and be like, and that's my flower, and she walks out.
All right, so you're all back in the living room, kind of intermingling now.
Hey, is everyone okay? Like, physically. I'm pretty sure nobody's okay mentally after that.
Yeah, I'm alright.
Didn't touch a hair on my head. Willow looks over to Cal and she's like, how are you healing up? That must have been a lot for you to do.
Yeah, I'm alright. I appreciate you checking up on me. Just a little bruising here and there, but that'll be cleared by morning.
That's good. I'm glad.
How about you?
I'm fine. The thralls didn't touch me at all. Thankful.
Yeah, those things give me the creeps. I hate fangers. No offense, Trick. You're pretty cool.
So Trig has just been like brooding against the wall, and he'll kind of shrug and nod in Cal's direction.
That was the first time I've ever seen thralls before, or vampires in a large area. I mean, so many. Trig's the only one I've really known.
Yeah, they can be hellions, but there's a few good ones out there.
Well, of course, there's good and evil on both sides, no matter what or who you are.
I suppose. But I am kind of tired.
Well, lay down. There's a room over there.
There is? Oh, if you don't mind, yeah, I'm gonna head to bed here. Good night, Willow.
Night, Cal.
And
Sweet dreams.
good night, everybody.
Night.
Good night.
Hemlock has been silent for most of this interaction. He looks up and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna head to bed too. I'm sorry I kinda sprung this on everyone. Good night, everybody.
What time is it?
I don't know. Maybe a little past midnight? 1 o'clock?
That makes sense. I suppose we all should get some rest, but I'm still buzzing from what we went through and what we saw.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
you guys know that woman? You guys called her by name.
Are you talking about Ella?
Yeah.
She was one of our sisters in our coven. Some bad things happened. We've been on the hunt for her for a while. But at least I know she's alive. And Jupiter kind of like looks down, and she was close to me. She was very kind. But I want to know what's wrong with her. Ella wouldn't have murdered all of those vampires like that. That's not her.
Not there yet.
Oh yeah, by this time, yeah, she would have
Okay.
come out.
Sarah's gonna lean against the wall, kind of almost like opposite of Trig, like crossing her arms too, deep in thought. She's just gonna like mention, like, she looked possessed.
Yeah, something had a hold of her.
And that magic did seem more familiar than just what we saw, and her eyes are gonna glance at Tara real fast. It looked like the magic you had when the whole Victor incident happened.
Yeah, I saw something like that around my fingertips at the academy, too.
Could it possibly be linked to Nyx or Sidious?
I mean, it's possible. I wouldn't count that out. I hope not, but we are pretty close to Nyx.
She scares me.
Yeah, me too. You have no idea.
So it looks like the power is consuming her, literally.
Do you think
I
she's
noticed that
okay?
No.
I don't think she's okay. She's far from okay.
Where do you think she went? If she wants us to help her, where could she be?
I don't know.
She probably was sent back to whoever did that to her. It looked like she was forced there and forced back. And she got that amulet thingy. I don't know if it's the same one we're looking for, but who would be looking for something like that?
The only thing I could think of would be if she made a deal with the Shadow Man for the same amulet, but that doesn't seem very fair.
Life isn't fair, though.
It's possible. I mean, she didn't have any magic, and now she does. Maybe she did make a deal with the Shadow Man.
Do you think he's back?
At his place? It's possible. But he could be sleeping.
We still
It's
have
kinda
2
late.
days, right?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow's the last day.
3 days.
Yep.
Day 1 was the day that you made the deal. Today's day 2.
We'll have to go there right away.
Yeah,
a good
first thing
idea.
in the morning. Maybe we'll get some answers about Ella while we're there.
That would be nice.
But it didn't seem like he gave away information for free. He'd want to make another deal.
Well, it's not for free. We have the route.
But you only wanted the amulet for that route.
I don't know. We'll just have to see tomorrow, I guess. It could not be the Shadow Man. I mean, like you said, Mira, it could have something to do with Nyx or Sidious. I don't know. I have no idea.
I think we can rule out Obsidious. I don't think Ella would have been able to contact him.
Okay. So that leaves 2.
Nyx, from what you've said. Yeah?
I was gonna say, Keeper's the only one who has the information still that Ella, like, visited Obsidian talking about the WLF, right?
Mhm.
Or WF, yeah. Shit.
What were you saying?
I lost my train of thought. Got a lot on my mind.
It's okay. I said there's only 2 people I can think of that would be able to do that to Ella.
Oh, I remember. If you said that magic looked like Nyx's, so, I mean, that's a lead. But also, the Shadow Man's looking for an amulet. Possibly the same amulet he wants to give to you. Maybe he didn't have it at the time and he needed to buy himself 3 days in order to give it to you. That's a lead as well. I feel like we can handle the Shadow Man. But I don't feel like we're powerful enough to deal with Nyx. She can resurrect the dead.
Yeah, I've seen Nyx do really, really powerful things, and I don't feel ready to face her. Especially without the amulet. I don't think we should even try to get close. I don't want to. I don't want to go back.
Yeah. Hey Sarah,
Yes?
can I talk to you?
She's gonna look at the riff and then she'll be like, just nod, like, of course.
Let's head out onto the balcony.
Alright. Sarah's gonna look outside the window real fast just to make sure none of her sisters are around. Go. She hasn't pulled the grip yet, like, oh yeah, there's more.
Right. You notice that a rainstorm has just not a rainstorm, I should say, just a rain has picked up. And Jupiter gets up and she heads out of the door to the balcony. And then you follow her out there. Does anyone else want to do anything before we start this conversation?
Willa looks around and she's like, this isn't going to be solved tonight. I'm actually going to head to bed too. I feel like we should all get a rest. Don't stay up too late, everybody. And she gets up and she walks into the room that everyone's been staying in.
Okay.
I'm going to follow Willa and get into my own bed. And while I'm laying there, I'm gonna play with my doll and my mood thing bracelet and kind of examine the beads and put it on and try to just see if I can figure anything out messing around with it.
How long would you say that you would be examining it?
I don't know, maybe I'll just kind of play with it for an hour while I'm falling asleep.
Okay. So as you are kind of messing with it, you're seeing that they start to glow a little bit, and you have this kind of sensation of feeling. The word is not unstoppable, but in conversation, you feel like you would be able to persuade your way out of certain situations, or persuade your way into getting into certain situations, and you get a +10 persuasion check to any bead you use. Only 3 charges.
So there's 3 beads that add a +10 to persuasion.
Mm-hmm.
Really cool. Okay, I'm gonna keep that on my wrist and get some sleep.
Cool. Mira, Trig?
I was gonna say Mira's probably not actually gonna go join the group in the bedroom this time around. She is probably going to not quite get ready to sleep, but is there a window in which she can like sort of just sit by and look out of for a while that isn't like right looking out into the balcony?
Yeah. Yeah, there is a little lounge chair by the door that looks out into kind of the alleyway in City Street. That she can rest, and there's some blankets and stuff. I actually was building Luke's apartment in The Sims 4, and I wish I had the pictures and stuff to show you. But it'll be interesting to finally have that to show you guys. But yeah, there's like a little alcove kind of to see the outdoors to the alleyway. And you kind of see the soft beating of the rain.
Alright, so she's probably just going to probably curl up in the chair, not go to sleep quite yet, just like blanket over her and go ahead and pull out her book and sort of start scribbling in it.
Okay. Trig?
He's gonna stand there for a hot minute, see where everyone kind of goes to, and then he is going to head out the front door and light a cigarette and take a walk.
Okay. Any destination in mind, or just kind of walking?
Couple things, but I will text you.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay. So out on the balcony, it's just a small little balcony, 2 little eclectic looking chairs, some hanging plants, and it kind of looks out to the street below. Your kind of beats of jazz drift out of some bars and stuff. People are passing by, but mostly staying indoors since the rain has kind of picked up a little bit. And Jupiter sits up on the chair, and she motions Sarah to sit down.
Sarah bows her head a little bit, like in recognition, like will sit next to her and sits up straight. A little tense at the moment, but
Sure.
yeah.
Jupiter, she holds her knees up close to her and rests her arms and chin on it, and she's like, how are you?
Well, just found out my entire family's here, so, family reunions are kind of weird.
Yeah. Family reunions are a little weird. I can't say I don't, being back in the city is bringing up a lot of old memories and family stuff, and I don't know. I get it. But I just wanted to apologize for the outburst a couple hours ago. I don't know what came over me. I just wanted to apologize.
Tarot's gonna scoff a little bit, like giggle, I guess, and she's like, "Do not worry. The emotions of mortals I understand sometimes, as brash as they can be, but I was just making sure we didn't do something stupid. I've lived a very long time, and this cycle of hatred is ongoing. We form alliances and they're broken. It has to stop somewhere. There's brokenness everywhere, and I just want people to stop and listen and just know that fighting isn't always the answer."
My mom always used to say that broken people hurt people, and that's what I feel like we all are. I never really met anyone who was true of heart or perfect or kind, except for Ella, and she just always had such a kind heart and so forgiving and understanding. And when Lady Tremaine and all my other sisters of the coven, they would mistreat her horribly, and she became more of a maid at the Witch's Sanctum more than a sister. I miss her.
Well, that Ella we saw tonight was not the Ella you knew. Kind hearts are easily turned.
That's what makes it so discerning. If there's anything that I can do to help her, I'm not going to stop. And I don't want people to be hurt anymore, but it just feels like if we do good and then 10 more bad things happen, it's hard.
I know. Cycle. I've been searching for this means of this darkness and the core of light as well, I guess. But, you know, everything's a catch-22, I feel like, these days. And I feel like it's on the tip of my tongue sometimes, and then it's gone. All the answers.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I get what you mean.
And I get that this vampire thing is bad. Like, the Countess is obviously just a little twisted in her mind, and just saying all reigns come to an end sometimes.
Yeah.
And she'll grin. Look away all fast.
Yeah, I have a vendetta against her, and it was for revenge, but your words, I took it to heart, and I want to do better, but if we don't do something about it, who will?
I mean, we can do something about it. We just gotta think their actions a little more instead of letting our emotions control us. That's what the darkness basically is, pulling at those negative thoughts. And not like Orknos is inside you right now. That's awful to say, but
No,
still there.
Can I tell you a story?
Of course. I love stories.
It's about a little girl who had to grow up really fast.
I hear that.
I was 14 when the king's men started rounding up all the Les Chamans, and when magic was outlawed. My mother, she was a high priestess, and she was known as one of the best healers around. I mean, my father, he was always eccentric and adventurous and just kind and loving, and he would tell me about his travels around the world, and he would bring me back these like trinkets and tell me about his travels. We lived in this sprawling manor out in the bayou, and it was like our own little hideaway, our own safe house, hidden from the mundane world, and it felt like home. It felt like a safe place, you know. We had vampires, werewolves, they would come and stay with us. Fae sometimes would come and go as they please, and Mother always had warm milk and ambrosia salad for them when they would come. And we even had a Bogart trap himself in one of the trunks in the attic one time, and that was a mishap. But it was a place of hope and safety. I remember there was one evening I was playing with Harold, who is this little ghost boy who died in the house before, and we were playing in his room, and I overheard my dad talking about someone. It was brief. It was only for a moment. Something about Bloody Mary. She's back. How is this possible? I mean, of course I knew her from myth. She was this vampire who was killed by Saint Ignatius over 100 years ago. And she basically wanted to paint the world red. Blood. And that was the reason why we celebrated Party Girl, was her death. Saint Ignatius created this holiday, and I really didn't think much of it. I was probably about 7 around then. When I got older, my mother started teaching me about magic and about my heritage of being a witch. And I discovered that I could open up tears. Of course, my mom was pleasantly surprised, but also kind of terrified of what I could do, and she forbade me from opening it. I didn't know what I was doing at first. Just all these little glittering dust in the air that looked like little strings, just crisscrossing everywhere, and I could pluck at them. I could pull them, and then a tear would open.
So
I didn't know what it...
you can see ley lines?
Ley lines?
Yeah.
Never heard of that word before, but possibly. They like crisscross around everywhere. Sometimes I see them, sometimes I can't.
Interesting.
Usually where high concentrations of like magic and toadstools and weird crossroads happen, and I don't know. Now, of course, obviously I didn't listen to my mom about opening tears, and Luke was with me, and we were in the city just kind of hanging around, eating beignets and jumbo and jambalaya, just filling our tummies, when I heard this woman scream down an alleyway, and instinct took over me, and I ran to see what was going on. a group of about like 8 men or so from the bayou. They were attacking the woman, and it didn't look anything like the Kingsmen to me at all. I stood up for her. It was foolish, but I believe in doing what's right, not what's easy. They didn't think much of me. I mean, I was maybe about 13, and my magic was wild and untamed at the time, and they had no idea that I could sever their heads by opening up tears. Simple. Easy, just like that. Well, I did. Killed them. The woman thanked me. She was really not surprised at what I could do, and she introduced herself as Mariana, and she needed help. She was a vampire who had lost her daylight ring and needed shelter to heal up, and I mean, the first thing I thought of was, well, my family has a mansion back in the bayou, like, let me show you. I took her back, and she was thankful. And she was actually very helpful in training with my magic, and I was naive to believe her. Eventually, she did leave the mansion, and she thanks us for our hospitality. If I only knew what she was going to do next, I would have put a stake through the Countess's heart then and there. That's who I knew she is. It was almost like as if overnight, the city's supernatural population vanished, and darkness grew in the city, and witches were being controlled by the vampires, and the werewolves were set out of the city and to live off scraps in the bayou. Some of us tried to rebel against them, and they're just too damn strong. Vampires are demons. Oknos' creations that feed on the very life source of New Orleans, of Valen, of Everas. But there's a change in the force. Some witches from Salem came. They call themselves the Witches' Liberation Front. They helped us stand up against the vampires. And then the Countess was at the mercy of St. Ignatius's crusaders. On the day that she was supposed to be executed, it was almost as if she was protected by them. She outed us. She told them about our home and started a war against those that we protected by the church and the crusaders. It was almost as if she was pardoned for all of her crimes by telling them exactly where we were hiding. And the manor was destroyed, and in the mix of the fighting they took my father, and then they took my mother's life. They tried to get me, but I escaped through a tear and sent me to Salem. I was on my own for a little bit, and then Ella found me. She told me that I should come with her, and there were other witches like her, and thus becoming a sister of the Nightingale Coven. And, well, you kind of know the rest of it.
I never said the Countess wasn't terrible. We gotta be careful of how we deal with her.
No, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. She needs to be stopped.
The
But
Nightingales are also not the best either.
yeah, they did awful things. Powerful. Terrible. But amazing things.
Trying to look her for, I know.
Yeah. I want her stopped by any means necessary, but in the same sentence, like I said before, I want to do what is right, but not what is easy. And if you think that we should talk to her, I agree with you.
I want to see how far her influence has spread. You talking about those guards, St. Ignace men.
St. Ignatius?
Yeah. How much control and sway does she have over them? Because it sounds like they might not be human completely.
Possible. My thing is the Crusaders, much unlike the Kingsmen will lock you up in jail. You'll at least be able to stand a trial. If you're captured by the Crusaders, you're never heard from again.
So, we're just gotta figure out who controls them. Is it the Countess? Is it the King? Is it somebody else we do not know yet? We need to ask Drake a couple questions about vampire lore, I think. about sires and what happens if you kill a, high vampire. And what needs to be done to control the rest of them.
I guess that is a question for him. Right. Probably should talk to him. And she kind of gets up and walks over to the balcony, and she kind of looks out the street below, and you see the moonlight cascade across her face, and you can see that she had been crying. Possibly maybe it was from the rain, but you can definitely see that there were tear marks down her face. And her there's a glimpse of like purple light in her eyes, behind her eyes, as the moonlight hits it, and she turns to Sarah and she's like, thank you. Not even Hemlock knows about my past, and I consider him my best friend.
Well, it's good to understand where you're coming from sometimes. And it actually opens the door for things that I've been curious about you as well. She's gonna stand up and like lean against the banister as well and look out. She's gonna be like, you remind me of somebody, actually.
I do?
Yeah, he has the same eye color and hair as you.
Really? My mom always told me I look like my dad. We have the same colored eyes, and the way our hair looks in the light, it has that purplish look. But there's no way that you would have known my dad. He was a human. He was taken young.
Sarah's gonna smirk and giggle. She's like, I think I do know your father.
What? You know Matthias?
Well, not by that name, no. We know him as Mercury, where I'm from. He's part of the Sealy Court.
Wait, hold on. You're telling me my father
is Fae? It explains why you could see those ley lines and tear jump us 2 years into the future. That magic is cosmic magic. That's astrological type of magic. Normal people can't do that.
And she kind of like pulls herself up from the banister and looks at Sarah intently, and so I mean, what?
It's a lot, I know. I mean, you have this witch color hair and eyes. That's not a normal thing. That's a Fae trait, by the way. Like, look at me. Like, I can't even get blonde hair. It's green. This is like hair, but it's green. I can't get away.
I suppose. I mean, some of the things that he used to bring me were really weird, and he would bring me back things like mushrooms and weird rings that would giggle when I put them on.
Yeah.
Right.
Classic Fae toys.
So I'm half Fae.
That explains a lot, doesn't it?
It explains a lot, but leaves so many questions.
Well, I'm Fae, so don't worry. You can ask me, and I won't charge you at all. Don't worry, I won't do that to you. With Fae to Fae, you know.
Well, I'm glad we had this little chat.
Yeah.
Jupiter goes for a hug.
Sarah will awkwardly hug her, and she'll whisper, like, your father's still alive, by the way.
She pulls back and she's like, wait, my father's still alive? How do you know?
I, saw him before. I, left, a year, I guess 2 years ago. But, I mean, I'm part of the Sealy Court. Not officially part of the Sealy Court. Trying. But I have to take oaths a lot. And he seen me naked, which was kind of weird. But still.
Yeah, that is a little weird. How do I find him? How do I contact him? I want to see him.
That's the problem with the Fae. He'll find you.
You would think after 10 years, me thinking he's dead, that he would have found some way to contact me.
Think of it from our perspective, though. 10 years is like a year to us. It's not really that long.
Yeah.
And if you really want to try reaching out, I don't recommend this because you could summon something else, but I would, sit in a fairy circle, offer a gift, call his name out. He might come.
You said his name was Mercury?
Mercury, yes. He likes anything like stars. Like if he's like stardust, moon rocks, something like that. He likes that kind of stuff.
Things that I love. Huh. Maybe he did give me something to find him. Thank you, Sarah. I have a lot to think about. I'm gonna go to bed.
You do that.
Okay.
Don't worry, you have probably enough mortal blood in you that you're still considered normal by everybody's means. So don't worry. She's like awkwardly looking away.
I almost forgot. When I was out earlier today, I had gotten something for you. And she goes inside really quick and kind of sees everyone nestled up and napping or sleeping. And she goes over to the freezer and pulls something out. She comes back out and she hands you this light blue looking ice cream. And she's like, it's sea salt ice cream. It was my favorite as a kid, and when I saw it, I had to get it, and I figured you would probably like something strange like that. It's not a normal flavor, so when I saw the vendor had it, I had to get it.
Gonna be like, salt? Salt ice cream?
Just try it.
She's gonna be like, like, oh, that's not that bad actually. That's actually
See?
pretty good. It's nice for summer days. Actually, popsicles are great.
And I agree with you. Good night, Sarah.
Good night. Sarah's gonna stay out eating it and like looking over the balcony and just like eyeing people below.
Let me see. Okay, Allie had texted me. Hey, Allie, did you want to roleplay this out, or did you just want to keep this between us?
I don't think roleplay is really necessary for that unless you do.
No, that's alright. We can kind of keep it hush-hush. I'll let you know later. Okay. So the following morning rolls around as everyone kind of goes back to bed and enjoys their day, or enjoys their morning. A little bit of rough sleep, kind of those visions of thralls might have crept into your dreams, and eventually you all start to wake up in the morning. Yeah. What are you doing?
They're gonna check on Eleanor.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Bitch. Sorry.
When you get back into the bathroom, you see that it's no longer the small confines of the bathroom. It is kind of expanded into this springtime meadow, and you see Eleanor just kind of frolicking in her outfit and her leaves and things like that. And she looks over to Sarah. She's like, "Well, hello, sister. Come to join me."
She's gonna be like, what did you do to this man's house? You know magic isn't like allowed in the walls.
Oh, I'm a fairy. I don't really care. What are they gonna do? Come bite me again?
Touche. I guess I've been around mortals too long. I have to pretend I don't have magic. I wonder what would happen if I did this, like, full hurricane sometimes. The fuck would the mortals do? Die?
Oh, possibly. I mean, they're mortal. That's what they're supposed to do.
Anyhow, are you gonna be here, like, all day? And your place, you should find Mother, 1. 2, your season is next. We need to get you home, like, almost ASAP.
Oh, I've got Mother up here. She should be coming over for afternoon tea.
Oh, and the others?
Oh no, they've gone back home. They send their regards.
That's fantastic. They don't want to have a whole, court here in this man's living room. I can't remember its name, but this poor guy's, which is, problems. Oh my god, you have so much problems.
They have problems they can sort themselves. Why are you so concerned with mortals all of a sudden? Have you forgotten your face, sister?
I have not forgotten my face. I'm just pretending I'm not fair, so I'll blend in a little easier. They don't
Stop
trust
pretending.
me.
We're here. We're in a meadow. What is more fey than this?
The Sealy Court.
Something you and I both aren't a part of.
Don't mention it.
My lips are sealed. Oh, I made some honey tea if you'd like.
Does sound fantastic, but we have business. Maybe we'll be back for afternoon tea. I'm sure everybody would love to meet the Fey Queen. I mean, Elf Queen, not the Fey one. Don't bring her here.
They're coming here, silly. This is our own pocket realm.
It does time stop here?
Well, of course. It flows a little differently, but it's our own serenity. Only Faye can enter. Don't worry. If the mortals come in, we'll just see that overgrown, disgusting, moldy bathroom.
Shame. be nice for them to see some beauty for once. They've been in this dark, gray realm for so long.
That's what I'm saying. But, anyways, I guess if you wanted to invite your friends in, I could open the doors for a little bit. Oh, how fun would that be? They can see a glimpse into the Fey Realm.
I thought maybe that wouldn't be wise with you here, or Mother for that instance. It's just the one Mother, right?
Of course, Queen Serana.
Okay, that's good.
Come, sister, please. And she takes her hands and she starts like twisting and doing a little bit of a dance and frolics in the sun. She's like, invite them. I think they would enjoy it. They could all use a little bit of rest and relaxation. And I wouldn't mind getting to know that cow. He's quite charming and handsome.
He's a dog.
Ugh, I hate nuts. But that doesn't discourage his looks. I could
He's
get
still
past the ticks.
Dog.
Agreed.
But I am talking to a
remember
person
that-
who would definitely do something with a fawn.
About to say, do you remember that satyr a couple spring breaks ago?
Yeah, I do remember that satyr.
Lovely. Okay, I will prepare tea. And I'm gonna probably bring up some hors d'oeuvres and crumpets. That's exactly what we need. Go get your friends, invite them in, and everything will be fine.
I'll talk to them about this. We have an errand to run first this morning. But I'm sure when Mother's here, I'll see if they all want to join with a little tea celebration.
Well, as you know, time is frozen here, so it would only be a second till you'd be here. But, ta-ta! Enjoy your morning errands.
Just whatever you do, just stay here, be careful, drink your tea, go find some fuck, I guess.
Yes, your majesty, as you wish.
A nice one, not one like last night. He was sleazy, okay?
Fine. I'm pretty sure he was gay.
So?
Alright, go.
Alright, I'll see you at tea.
See you at tea time, sister.
Julie. I just feel like, what the fuck?
So you close the door behind you and head back into the living room where everyone's slowly starting to get their morning kind of gatherings.
Once everybody's joined them, she's like, good news, we're invited to tea. Better news, most of my sisters have gone home. Not so better news, Eleanor's still here.
Okay, well, tea sounds nice, but I think we should hurry up and take care of this night route business first.
Exactly. So I told her, yeah, when we come back, we'll talk about rules.
Rules?
Rules?
There's rules. I haven't told you the rules, I guess. I haven't really outed you guys either, or forced anything upon you guys, so I have been within my reason. Obviously, I'm very different from Eleanor, dear sweet sister. Let's go see the Shadow Man. And she starts walking out the door.
Okay. Why would there be rules for tea time? She's gonna gather her stuff up and follow Sarah out the door.
Willow goes back to the room and she gathers everything and she assumes that Cal's still sleeping and she like smiles at him a little and then she hurries out the door.
Okay, so it's just gonna be main party. Mira, Trig.
Mira's gonna start packing. Oh, you go ahead first, Allie.
Okay. Hearing the commotion of people going out the door, I guess he will step out of the closet because he had taken his clothing because they had been soaked from his walk in the rain and he had hung them up beside him, like in the closet. So he's gonna like try to tug on his still kind of damp pants as he walks out the door.
Please tell me he's not naked.
Oh no, he has his underwear on.
Thank God.
Mira's gonna be in the process of packing up like all of her stuff because she's taking her pack everywhere with her. Just as a precaution. Is going to turn around and see this instantly go like gray and rush out the door.
Okay. So you guys meander your way back towards the Shadow Man, getting docking looks as this is happening, and you eventually come back to Dr. Facilier's emporium. The sign is gone. It looks to be open.
Okay.
You enter?
Yeah, let's get this over with.
Okay. You enter, and you see that he is sitting at the big round table, playing with some cards, and he's like, "Ah, yes, just the one I wanted to see. Do you have what I need?"
I do, yeah, we got the route. Do you have what I need?
And he, from his waistcoat pocket, he pulls out the gold amulet. Right here, the sorcery amulet that will allow you to be unaffected by Nyx and her control, allowing you to have whatever you want.
She quickly walks forward and gets the root out of her bag and holds it up. It's like, okay, yeah, perfect.
He takes the night root and he's like, "Ah, yes, devious. You are so very prompt. You can have it. There it is. Consider our deal done and taken care of."
Thank you so much. And she's gonna immediately put the amulet around her neck.
Perfect. So, is there anything else you needed, or can I get back to my reading?
Well,
Sarah's gonna give her a look.
I guess not. No.
Alright. Ta-ta.
Just quickly leave. And like try to pull Tara up, like, oh, let's get the fuck out of here.
Tara kind
Wait.
of hesitates and looks at Willa.
Mr. Shadowman.
Dr. Facilier, please.
Dr. Facilier. May I ask you a question?
Sure. Readings are 5, full in-depths are 10, star chart readings start at 20, crystal ball gazing is 50, pendulum readings, I'll throw that in if you do a reading.
If it is a crystal ball reading, can you find someone?
We
That
can
we're looking
find
for.
anyone. Absolutely. Come
you
sit.
said
Who are you looking
50?
for? Only 50.
Laura takes the 50 gold out of her bag and she puts it on the table. I'm looking for Ella.
Alright. Ella. You're gonna have to tell me a little bit more about her, my dear. A name is powerful, but not powerful enough.
She is part of the Nightingales, or she was. She had her magic stolen from her from Lady T. I believe that she is not dead since we recently saw her, and she needs our help.
Alright, so let me look in the crystal ball. And he pulls forth this large purple crystal ball and sets it on the top of the table. The lights and the candles kind of flicker and dim. And he says, "Alright, she's alive. I know this woman. She's trying to make a deal with Nyx. Then she came to me. I offered her a deal she couldn't refuse. And now she's left.
But where is she? Where's her location?
Let's see. Heading down to Sasagwilla right now. If I do see a steamboat, alligators. Oh dear, she's traveling with someone. Dead. Oh, but a glimmer of hope in his eyes. Darren, I think is his name. She asked me to resurrect him, but unfortunately, my friend's on the other side. Can't do just that yet. She's gone after Nyx.
She's going to Nyx?
Well, she's the only voodoo priestess that I know that can resurrect the dead.
Okay. Can I ask what you made a deal with her for?
You got the green?
I spent most of it.
Alright, I'll do half price. It's for 25.
That's all my gold left. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Willow gets up, and she's a little shaky, and she walks out the door.
Happy party girl, y'all.
Before I walk out, I'm gonna turn back and say, Dr. Facilier, why do you hate Nyx? Why did you
Good
help
question.
me?
Well, you see, Nyx and I are at odds. She's done something vile, evil, dark. But I don't want to go into too much detail with that one. It's such a long story, and my dear, it looks like you might not have the coin to hear it.
No, I guess not. I just wondered if you knew if she had anything to do with what's been happening around the city.
Oh no, my sweet. The city is the Countess's, but the bayou is hers.
Okay. Thanks again.
Anytime, Tara, and if I am honest, which of course a man like me, poor sinner, I'm always honest.
Of course.
I hope you kill that bitch.
I hope so too.
Good luck. And, before you go, consider it a gift from Dr. Facilier to yourself. Should you need help, I can send a shadow to you in your time of need. But only if it's to dispatch Nyx.
Okay, how do I make that happen? How can I contact you if I need it?
How do you contact my friends on the other side? You'll know. I have a feeling that you've done it before.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Of course. Dr. Facilier does not back down on deals.
Okay, well, I guess I'll see you around. And she's gonna leave the Emporium.
Enchanté, mademoiselle. And then you guys head out back into the streets of Ascension Fair. Oh, yeah, Mira?
I was gonna say, Mira's gonna walk out of the building, have this grimace on her face, and walk back in, and place the 25 gold down on the table. And it's like, what did she get?
Oh, the deal was not for you, my sweet. 50.
Take the gold or I'm walking.
You could walk. I have plenty of other deals I can make.
She's gonna huff and just pick it up and sort of, not stomp out, but sort of slowly walk, giving it time, like hoping he changes his mind.
30 and we have a deal.
She lets out a very aggravated sigh and puts down her last 30 gold to get this information.
Alright, let me see in the crystal ball. Ask her question again.
What did you give the girl Ella in exchange for her getting you that amulet?
He looks darkly at her. I gave her exactly what she wanted.
Specifics?
My friends on the other side.
She sort of just puts her hand over her mouth and like quickly walks out and joins the group.
Okay.
What was that about, Mira?
I know what she got.
Who?
What'd you get?
Ella? What do you mean?
He's the source of the magic, or at least his friends on the other side.
Well, that makes sense.
At least it's
She
not
can't
Nyx.
control the magic.
Let's just go. I don't feel necessarily good about that situation.
Me neither, but we got some very good information. Thank you, Mira.
Yeah. And we got the amulet, so I think this means that I'm safe from her. So if we
Sounds
want
like
to get out of New Orleans, I think it's safe to do so.
That might change. Let's hurry back, because I have some big news for Hemlock and Jupiter.
Does the amulet do anything else? Does it give me any sort of feeling or...
Not right now.
Okay.
It gives you a sense of security or hope in herself and her believing in this talisman, but nothing magical per se right
Okay.
now.
Okay. So, yeah, she's just gonna kind of hold it closely and follow it up the street.
Alright, so you guys head back to the apartment? Okay.
Yeah.
You head back in. Hemlock has a cauldron on the stove, brewing some type of potion, elixir, possibly even soup. And Jupiter is sitting on the counter, watching him do this, and you kind of hear them like laugh about something, and then Jupiter hops up and she's like, "Oh, hey, how did it go, guys?"
Good. We got what we needed. No problems. Yeah, he was really helpful.
And Jupiter and Hemlock, I have some good news.
Okay, yeah.
I did make a slate deal, but I got some good information. Ella's okay.
Sure. Okay.
She's safe, I guess, from her magic. But she's traveling down the Sasagula River
Yeah.
on a steamboat and with a corpse named Darren. And he said that she's traveling towards Nyx.
Prince Darren.
Oh, Prince Darren?
Well, I don't suppose she'd be traveling with any other corpse.
The one that Lady Tremaine killed?
Yeah. Sounds like she's probably trying to bring him back to life.
It makes sense she'd be going to Nyx then.
And Mira found out more information.
Yeah.
The magic that we saw, at least isn't Nyx, but I don't know if you guys want to necessarily hear this, but
No. Go on.
Ella's messing with some very dark magic. Like,
Sarah did say it best. Those pure of heart are easily corruptible. So we go find her. So we go.
I'd be careful though. While it might not be Nyx's magic, I don't think Dr. Facilier's friends are necessarily that nice either.
Well, he gave Tara the amulet, right?
A amulet.
It's the one.
Here, let me see it. I can see if there's magic in it.
She steps over to Jupiter, but doesn't take the amulet off. It's the same one I saw in my vision.
It's elven made. I can notice this type here. It definitely has a humming sensation. That's good. I'd say it's magical. He hasn't given us a reason not to trust him.
Yeah, this is exactly what I saw in my dream, and it's what I've been looking for this whole time. He gave it over without any issues. We just made a trade. I don't see why we wouldn't trust him.
Well, thank you. And she goes over and hugs Willa, and she's like, "You are just the bee's knees. I appreciate everything you guys have done." She goes over to Mira and extends her arms for a hug as well.
Mira sort of just stands there.
It's called a hug, sweetheart.
I know what a hug is.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring up any bad things.
No, you're good. Just, it's been a weird morning.
Understandable. Speaking of weird, Hemlock is currently brewing one of his famous concoctions of miso soup. Oh, it is just absolutely delectable. He apparently found out this recipe in Nakoma to create it. Eleanor invited us to tea, and that's what he's bringing.
Also, there's more about that. My mother is coming. Queen Serena. Just so you know. You all have to be invited into the bathroom.
Ooh, the bathroom.
Sounds
Ew.
weird.
Why would we drink our tea in the bathroom?
It's
But
not
the-
quite the bathroom.
Yeah, the bathroom is like a meadow. It's super cool.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
She created a pocket universe in the bathroom.
What?
I know,
That's what it
silly.
does.
Yeah. Crazy, right? She's just been using her magic willy-nilly and not afraid of any repercussions, pretending not to be to be normal at all. Like, just called me out, being like, why are you pretending to be human? I've been like, oh my god, like, because I want them to like me? I don't know. People don't trust in me? Maybe that's why? Ugh.
And I have actually some very interesting news. Sarah and I talked last night. I might or am half fae.
R.
Oh.
More on that later.
Congratulations.
I don't know. It's kind of hard to digest. I'm trying to embrace this whole thing. I've tried a new look with my hair, as you can see, and you see these like purple flowers around her puffs. And you see like a little bits of like glitter that she's put on her cheeks and stuff, and you see that her normal black kind of dress is a little bit more purples and stuff in that. She's like, I'm fully embracing my other side.
I think you look great.
Beautiful, Jupiter.
Oh, thank y'all. Y'all are making me sweat like a sinner in church.
Oh, I think that's a good thing.
Oh, absolutely, Saul.
Sarah's gonna look out the window, just check, and she's like, and another thing, don't accept gifts from us. Like, if it's not, like, Eleanor, like, wants to give you something, don't take it. Don't take it.
Why?
Let me hand it to you. Just let me hand it to you. Sarah's just gonna be like, ah. So, even if we don't mean to, if you accept gifts from us, you kind of owe us, like, a favor. Remember when I was like with Tara, like, don't accept the gift, don't do a deal. We make deals like that without telling you. Like, knowing your names is highly enlightening, so I'm very careful about using real names around the Fae. Sorry, I can't tell you mine either. It's rules.
Sarah?
Yes.
Just throwing this out here. I've been thinking about this.
Mm-hmm.
Does that work on half A, do you know?
I don't know. It depends on how much mortal blood you have, per se.
Well, considering on the fact that I saved every single person in this room's life except for Mira and Cal, does that count?
I mean, you can try it, or just somebody do something.
I don't know if I like that. Is anyone willing to let me do something to them?
I can't be willing.
What is it?
Oh, consent is sexy.
The Fae don't consent.
Fine, it'll be something simple and stupid. Willa, touch your nose. There's no control over Willa at all. But does she touch it?
Ooh, I don't know. Can I roll to see if I do?
Well, there's no pull over you, magically speaking, but I mean, if she just wants to be like, haha, hee hee, I mean, she can.
Oh, okay. Then she looks at everybody and waits for like a couple like seconds. Like everyone's watching her, and then all of a sudden she's like,
okay. Ooh. Oh my gosh, this is kind of crazy. Okay. Trig, do a little jig. Oh, Allie, we can't hear you, baby. So we can't hear you. I don't know if you're talking.
Just a 2 seconds. Or seconds.
My favorite type of time.
Seconds. Seconds.
Is that better? Hello?
Yay.
Yeah, hello, hey, welcome.
Who's that?
Hello? Yes? Hi?
Yes.
Hey.
"Hello."
Yes. We can hear you. Can you hear
I
us?
don't think I can hear you guys.
Oh no.
Oh no.
One moment, please.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Okay.
Can you hear us now?
Hello, does that work?
Hello.
There we go. Okay. Fucking Bluetooth earbuds. Okay, so he's gonna kind of like look around the room and laugh, like chuckle to himself, not like full on laugh. Lord knows he's too cool for that. And he's gonna like come up off the wall a bit and kind of like move around awkwardly. Think Luther from Umbrella Academy awkwardly, and then lean back against the wall and shake his head.
Ooh, this is interesting. Okay. Well, I'm cool with that. Is something funny, Willow?
No, just funny. This whole thing. That's all.
Okay, so tea.
Tea.
T. Yeah. Huh. Yeah.
So we're gonna meet your mom.
Yeah. I guess so. Yeah, you're gonna meet the Queen Serena of the Elves. I'm going to have to not look this way. I'm gonna have to look at my normal self and look at my normal outfit. So no. She is the queen. Just like my sister and I are both princesses. And we do kind of control a lot of things that happen in this world. So let's go, bye!
Oh, I'm so excited. And Hemlock grabs his cauldron, and he, like, begrudgingly is like, alright, let's do this. And then do you all head into the bathroom?
Lulu looks around quickly and she's like, "Where's Cal?"
He's still sleeping. Try to wake him up, but 5 more minutes. Apparently he needs a beauty rest. I mean, you can go check on him.
I might want to. Just because he's been sleeping for a while. You guys go ahead in. I'll meet you there.
Okay. See you in the bathroom.
Also, leave all the iron out of here. No iron allowed. No iron. We don't like it. Don't lie. No lying.
Okay.
Keep your gold close. We're very prideful.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember everything, so
okay.
just be careful.
We will. I'm sure that everyone will be good, right?
Hopefully.
Sure.
Right.
Okay. Alright, so you all head into the bathroom meadow, officially invited into the realm, similar to what was described before, but Willa, she goes over to where Cal was sleeping, in the bedroom. The door's closed.
Willis, did he sleep in the same room as everybody else did? No? Okay. She, like, lightly knocks on it.
And you hear him you're like, yeah, I'm up, I promise.
Well, you're gonna miss a grand tea party.
You hear some fumbling around on the inside of the inside the bedroom, and then he like opens the door and like leans his arm against the door frame, and you see that he is wearing a flannel shirt, a tunic, and things like, yeah, I'm up. Hey, Willa.
Hey, I didn't want you to miss it since everybody else is already up and at 'em and off to the tea party. Apparently, Sarah's fae mother, who's the queen of Hollowroot, is here, and they're in some pocket realm I don't quite understand, but I didn't want you to miss out.
Oh, yeah, I overheard them talking about that. I kind of don't want to go, but if you are going and want me to go, I can go.
I don't want to make you uncomfortable or force you to go to something. I just thought you should know, that's all. We'll be back shortly.
Okay, I'll see you when you get back.
Yeah. Bye.
See ya. And then you head into the pocket realm?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So, you all enter this realm of fae and meadow and beautifulness. There is a table set up in the center of kind of this meadow that's deepened in, surrounded by forest and things of that nature. There is a stream, and you see this beautifully elongated table with cakes and teacups, some of the very Mad Hatter, Alice in Wonderland kind of looking realm, and just this great big mossy trees and just this brilliant sunlight cascading down on you as you see Eleanor, who is at the head of the table, and she's like, "Oh, you guys made it! Welcome, welcome. Come, sit, have a seat."
Sarah's gonna like round the table, taking a macaroon as she goes and sits next to her sister.
This is amazing. And she's gonna hurry over and take a seat at the table.
Welcome to our little spring meadow.
It's so beautiful. This is crazy.
Hopefully one day you guys can see like the real thing. Like my sister's like ritual next. That's pretty cool. Not as cool as mine, but it's pretty cool.
Sure thing, sister. Mother should be arriving here shortly. We should all be sitting down when she arrives.
Okay, and Willa hesitantly, and like, she goes and sits down next to Tara.
How's everyone sitting?
I was going to say, Mira's probably going to do a very tentative sit as well and just be over near where Tara and Willa are and just, like, keeping eyes down, like, extremely uncomfortable right now.
Sure.
Sarah's gonna be like, should remind you of home. A little. And she'll wink to Mira and sit up straight and kind of like compose herself to like her real self. Like, okay, here I am. Leafy hair, leafy outfit. No more normal clothes. She stretches and be like, this feels so much better.
See, I knew you would, sister. I've brought a couple things from home. I have all types of teas: jasmine, lavender, Earl Grey, English breakfast, anything you could think of. I can pour a glass. There are some crumpets, some scones. I did have to bring in some face stuff, so don't eat the things that are marked with the little tiny dainty flags. Okay, they're white. You shouldn't notice, or you will notice them if you pick one up. Those specifically for Fae.
What happens if we eat them?
Die, maybe. I don't know. What else typically don't eat Fae food?
You wouldn't die. They would just... You would kind of be like high for a really long time. Like,
You ruined the fun. Now they're gonna want to try it.
they won't have control of everything, and that's the point. That's why we give the food to them, like the Fae food, so they can like want to like have sex with us and party and stuff. Don't do it. I know it sounds cool, but I see like people like drool. Do you want to drool?
I guess not.
Oh, you want to try it? Damn.
I don't want to have sex with you.
She's gonna look at Eleanor and be like, oh, okay.
You will if you eat one of those cupcakes. That's okay. That's okay. It's fine. Just I have forewarned you. Eat at your own risk. Where's Cal?
Oh, he didn't want to partake in this little party. I think he would just be a little uncomfortable with the Fae. So we'll see him later.
You can invite the fawns to serve us.
Oh, trust me, I've gotten the finest funds. There might be a satyr or two that will shamble by. I tried to get the centaur, but he was busy.
Oh, I love him.
He's pretty nice. But anyways, enjoy. And Eleanor begins eating on some of the crumpets and cookies.
Mira's not touching anything.
I'm gonna whisper to Willa. So when she said don't accept anything, are we allowed to drink the tea and eat the food, or should we not?
I think that's only if she hands something to you. I don't know. Why don't you just ask Sarah? Maybe she'll get you some tea and crumpets, I think they're called.
Okay. Sarah, will you get me some tea?
Sarah's gonna be like, are you sure about that?
Eleanor looks at Sarah like you're not about to do what this human does, right?
Sarah's gonna be like, and like a plain way, be like, you guys serve yourselves. Definitely, we're not handing it as a gift. This is just tea and not an offering of a gift. Don't worry. It's if she specifically needs.
Okay.
Oh. Okay, just tea then.
Yeah, you can pour it. Don't worry.
Okay.
The fawns are cool too, right? Are they neutered?
They'll be fine. They will not disturb our guests. Besides, they've already taken the invitation and entered this realm. If I really wanted them to do something, I could. But I'm not. That's not who I am. These are your friends. Touched here. The rules of the Fae are gone.
And she's just like super tea.
What? I can't lie.
She's going to stare at her. Don't worry, you can serve yourselves. Just don't eat the white flags, apparently.
Yes.
Okay.
That was very kind of you, sister, to make sure they knew.
Of course. Of course. It's Fae hospitality. Now, we do have an elephant in the room.
Where? I don't see an elephant any. Oh, not a real elephant. You didn't. Okay. I thought you meant the real elephant, not a vampire. You can just call it vampire.
Forgive me for my speech pattern that I'm trying to learn from the common and be a little bit more considerate of your friend, sister.
The vampire is called Trigva, and he is welcome and fine.
What a nice name he has. Trigva. Is that Barovian?
So he's been like staring at a plate of like white flagged like food, wondering about it because he's not technically mortal, quote unquote. So he's actually contemplating what would happen. not really paying attention to conversation either.
Hey, it's a free country. Anyways, if Mother finds out that I was kidnapped by a band of vampires, I'm sure she's not going to be willing to want to have him at our table.
He's fine. He's not that kind of vampire. In fact, he hates vampires.
You know Mother doesn't like to listen to reason.
It's because she's an elf.
She's elven and fey. But literally the cross between fey and elf. You know she doesn't care. She's a queen.
Yes, I know she's queen. But I haven't spoken to her. I know. I'm sure it's gonna be fine. I mean,
Am I bringing up the vampires, or shall you? You're the lead, sister.
I'll bring up my vampire friend to make sure that she knows that he plays no part in your kidnapping at all. And you said it yourself. You were toying with them. And she knows you toy with vampires.
I suppose. And then all of a sudden from behind you, you hear this voice, this glittering, silky, smooth voice. What's this I hear about? A kidnapping? Hello, dear. And it's Queen Serana. And she bends down, and she's super tall, very, very thin. Her hair is just so elegant. Everything about her is just ethereal almost. And she kisses Sarah on the forehead.
Hello, Mother.
Now, what a glorious little feast we have. Hello, Eleanor. And she gets to the seat at the head of the table, overlooking you all. And she says, my, what a crew we have. I'm sure introductions are a necessity.
Sarah is going to do it on behalf of everybody to make sure. She's going to be like, yes, this is the party I have found to help search with the darkness, Mother. Have been quite interesting, to say the least. Right here, she's going to point to Willa, but this is Willa. She is half-elf. See, beautiful ears. Does spells of magic soon. She found some cool tidbit. So she's great. Next to her is Tara. She is a human, but she also knows magic. She's the most curious of them all right now. And she's going to stare at Tara and then look back to her mother and be like, yeah. And then she's going to be like, and look, Mira from Hollow Roots. She's here, like one of our healers. She just caught up with us for a little bit.
I'm
But
familiar.
right, have Mira here. And then this fine gentleman down here is Drigva. He is a vampire, but not that kind of vampire. I didn't kill him on the spot, which is surprising, but in due time I'll tell you more about him. Yeah, Jupiter's here, right? In Hemlock?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then we have a newly discovered half-fae, Jupiter. Her dad's Mercury, did you know that?
I thought she looked quite familiar.
Oh no.
Now, Jupiter, it is a pleasure to meet you. As well as you all, and who's this last fine fellow?
He is Hemlock. He is also a witch. He's from Salem, which is where I had met most of the crew here, actually. He does lots of fine things with herbs and plants, so it's quite good, actually.
Useful. Well, as I'm sure you've all been pleasantly acquainted, I am Queen Serana of Hollowroot, Queen of the Fairies, and Ambassador of our Fae. I'm glad we all could gather here, because I do have quite a bit of questions to ask. Sarah, I understand you've been gone for 2 years. Quite honestly, I don't really care where you've been, I'm just glad that you're back. We have had to perform your 2 summer solstices, and by we I mean I.
I am very sorry you had to perform that act, and I'm very grateful for you overseeing my season. I'm sure the people of Everas also are very thankful that you did something in my stead. As for the 2 years thing, that can be explained with our half-fae friend down there. She has terror magic, cosmic terror magic, and kind of put this in the future, causing that whole 2-year gap. So that explains that, I guess.
Huh. Time travel. You know, it's quite funny. time travel at all. When you time travel, you have to go somewhere. Don't suppose you'd ventured into the Fey realm during those 2 years and forgotten about it.
You mean me?
You all were transported 2 years, except for the one who's shaking her head.
Well, yeah, we were there for a moment. Just a moment.
Interesting. Now, let's see here. Do we have honey tea? Ah, yes, perfect. Well, may I commence a drink and a toast to Sarah coming back home? And she raises her teacup.
I was gonna raise hers too and just look at everybody and be like, eh.
Sarah is quickly filling a cup of tea and raising one up.
Troy?
He originally wasn't going to, but seeing Sarah's reaction, he will pour just a little bit of hot water into a cup and raise it.
To good health and pleasure and fun and fancy-free. Now, I have come here with regards. Your presence is requested immediately at Hollowroot. I've made arrangements for us to leave later this evening to go back to Hollowroot. We have things we have to discuss.
Me leave? It's
Yes.
not my season.
Seraphina, you were talking to your mother. Where has this brash unrespectfulness come from?
With all due respect, my queen, I would like to stay on my mission to stake out the darkness. There's a few things I feel I have to still do, and I'm very close to figuring out this whole balance thing. I think I need to balance this mortal world as well as find the balance within the entire worlds. I haven't figured out that last part, but I met somebody named Xavier that held some answers. She's gonna
Xavier,
stare at her.
the same dark elf that's been meddling in our affairs as of recent, in the caverns of Remedia. We are getting reports that something is being built within the confines of Osvendor. That is the matter I wanted to discuss with you and put your mission on side and add this one to you. I need you to report to Osvendor. Our contact, I'm sure you have met with him, Quill, has also let me know that he's seen you in the city. That's how I knew you were here. When Eleanor went missing, I supposed it was from some fawn that she's so fond of. That she went to find you, and Quill found me.
Well, then we are in alignment, so I don't have to go back at all, my queen. I can
You're right.
stay here and travel up the river to Osendor.
Osvendor? No, but I suppose you're right, but this will need to be done by the end of spring. It's about a month to get from here, across this Lantern Sea and up into Altus.
Going to look at the table very nervously. I see.
We are running out of mortal time, my dear. I sense displeasure.
I just didn't think this would be so sudden, that's all. I didn't know. I know, with all due respect, we have things that I was helping with that I don't. She's gonna stumble over her words and be like, she doesn't even know if her party even needs her at all, type of thing. And she's like, I'll be back
So-
with summer solstice.
We are running out of mortal time, and I cannot hold off the seasons changing much longer. If they see me for a third time, performing the summer solstice dance, they're going to wonder where you are. And if they wonder where you are, they'll wonder my royalty and my status and ability to control my peoples and kingdom. I can't hold off the seasons.
I know. And I've already put enough people in harm's way by not being here for 2 years. I understand. Lots of people have died.
Miss Willowtree, what do you say about this?
Your Majesty,
Please, call me Queen Serana.
Queen Serana.
Names are very powerful, my dear.
They are indeed. See, I believe that Serafina has benefited greatly traveling with our party and trying to find the darkness that she was put on a mission for. And I feel like we are getting very close to finding that answer for her. And I, myself, even though she has been put on this mission, I feel like we would greatly miss her. And I feel like she would miss us. And it would work well both ways if she would stay with us, because we can find out the answers together on this mission for the darkness. And Willa is just terrified. And she is stumbling over her words, and she's just like,
Interesting. Now, shall you raise your bows in aid of my daughter?
I have before.
What say you in the future?
I don't see why not.
Would you lay your life on the line for the good and the greater good of fighting this darkness that grows in our world?
That's what I have been doing, so yes.
Earth, tell me, daughter, what say you?
Well, I don't think that you should be upset with Sarah. It wasn't her fault that 2 years passed, and we need her help. I don't want her to leave our group. This isn't fair. She doesn't want to go either. She's been working really hard on her mission, and I want her to stay with us.
Shall you raise your magic in the aid of my daughter?
Yeah, I mean, we're like part of a team.
Will you lay your life on the line to do the greater good and defeat the darkness and bring back the balance?
If it comes down to that, yeah, I guess so.
Good. Master Vampire, Eldrick, born of blood and ash, what say you? We can't hear you, Canal. Oh, there you go.
I'm here. Yeah. He kind of sits up from where he was leaning on the table, and he's like, with all due respect, I'm not here to have my loyalties questioned. I have stood with your daughter before, as she has stood with us, and I feel like there's nothing that would prevent any of us from doing this in the future.
Interesting. Ballsy. Okay. And Mira, my sweet child of Yuna and the light.
My queen, as a follower of Yuna, I have dedicated my life to the light and the service of her. If Yuna bids the fact and your daughter has in fact been charged with something that will lead to the ending of the darkness that is going on, I would gladly give my life and everything I have to serve her.
Spoken like a true hero. Remind me to improve your status within the temple. High Priestess sounds good, doesn't it?
She just shrinks in her chair. And it's like, you are too kind. I am in no position for that right now, Your Majesty. I'm currently on my trials.
Your pilgrimage. And these are your guardians?
Sort of?
Sort of. Interesting. She asks Jupiter and Hemlock the same question, and of course they answer, and they're like, yes, absolutely. Well, then you have it here, Sarah. Your whole friends here in this little party will follow you to the ends of the earth. You're not leaving them, they're coming with you.
Yes.
That's all. And she looks over to Eleanor, and she's like, I appreciate you getting this little tea party together, and I'm sorry I have to... What is that? And Eleanor's like, what, mother? On your neck. Just there. Eleanor's, she quickly, moves around. She's like, oh, nothing, She's like, is that a mark of a vampire? Eleanor's like, no, absolutely not. punctured myself or something. It was not a vampire. You know you can't lie, Eleanor. Yes. It's a vampire. But it wasn't him, I promise. Okay. What happened? Eleanor looks at Sarah like, am I doing this or you?
Paris could look at her mother and be like, she decided to have fun with the vampires. She did get one. With the find him still. Because he's bound to her. But, you know.
This vampire? What's his name? Where's he from? Who is he under? Eleanor's like, his name is Garrus. And you were having fun? Yes, Mother. It was all in good fun. Trying to find Sarah. Queen Serana, she raises her eyebrow and she's like, interesting. Well, I've given you a plan. See to it as you fit. But I'm not taking this lightly.
I'll be back by summer midsummer.
Good.
Whether with my mission accomplished or not, I won't miss another summer.
Good. Eleanor, we must retire back to Hollowroot, as your season is about to begin shortly. Sarah, you've chosen your friends well. I can see that they truly do care for you, and if not you, this world they live in. But of course, just like yourself, they all have missions that they must complete as well. I don't take lightly on being questioned by a vampire such as yourself, Master Trickfer. But I understand where you're coming from. It takes a lot of gusto to stand up to someone like me. I like that. Interesting. But now I must retire. My centaur is here. And you see this this white galloping horse appear from the meadowline. And she gets up, finishes off her tea, and she says, the summer solstice, midsummer. The solstice comes before midsummer. I want you back by then.
I'll be back. Don't worry. I won't fail this world again. And she
Third
bows.
time's a charm. Third time's a charm. If you do not make it back, you are off the court. And she gets up on the horse, or the centaur, and they gallop into the meadow, before disappearing beyond this misty veil.
With Eleanor?
With Eleanor.
Does the magic go away? Okay. I was like,
It's still there
first
as
thing all
long,
the
yeah.
time.
It's still there until you guys leave.
Okay.
Well, that was most illuminating.
Yeah. Sarah's just gonna be like grimacing this whole time, like shit.
On that note, as much as this Fey realm is beautiful and enchanting, I kind of want to go back to the real world.
Agreed.
I second that, and she is going to quickly sit up out of her chair and rush out of the entire meadow.
Okay. Anyone else?
Literally.
Yeah, I guess. And she's gonna take a cookie and kind of like sad look back at the beautiful meadow and like slink back into the real world.
Sarah's gonna stay there sitting for a little bit and this like knowing it's like time locked here so she can have time to think. And she's gonna like make herself look normal again. Like I guess human elf. With her
Sure.
green hair and stuff.
Okay.
But she's gonna look at Trey because he's still there. And she's just gonna whisper thank you.
He's going to stand and kind of walk toward her, and he's going to stand behind the chair that's across from her and just, you know, even though we fight like a family, that means we're going to stay together as one.
I know. She's just gonna like stare at Trig, like wanting to say more, but she's gonna like hold her tongue a little bit. She feels bad. She's just gonna be like, there's more. I just don't think you're ready yet. but soon.
He's gonna kind of digest that for a bit. He's finally gonna reach over and pick up like a cookie or something that has the white flag in it. And he's gonna hold it up, and he's looking at her, and he's like, would I be more ready for that information, or what this could possibly do to me?
I think you'd rather eat the cookie than what I have to say. And don't worry, it's not bad. It's just something I see in you.
Well, and he's gonna
Good.
kind of drop the cookie back on the plate, and he's like, whenever you're ready to talk, I will listen.
I think you'll know when you're ready to talk.
And he
Just
kind of
don't be
like,
so hard on yourself all the time. And you're kind, actually.
you know, you're not the first person to tell me that.
Well, you see it as a sin. And I think there could be some good that could come out of it. It's gonna glance up and smirk. What happens if you kill a high vampire, by the way?
If the rumors are true, you take their station.
She's gonna look away and grin. And she's gonna shake her head. Okay. Well. Shall we join the others?
We shall. And he'll come around the side of the table and offer his elbow to her.
She'll take it.
And he will guide her out of the meadow back into the hallway.
All right. So as you leave the table and you start walking back to where the entrance, exit, whatever you want to call it, comes, you're going to see the bathtub as the Fey realm tends to fade and the real world starts to come, and they meet in the center, and you're back in the bathroom. Once you're on the other side, Cal is still standing in the doorway as Willa, as you come out. He's like, "Oh, did you guys forget? Did you all forget something?"
I guess the Fey realm doesn't. No time passes, so technically you didn't miss anything.
Well, that's interesting. Huh. Alright. Oh. Oh, okay, so I was saying, actually, we're gonna go ahead and end that episode here with some closing credits. Wow, what a fun time, y'all!
Wow.
That was a lot.
Yeah, that was. I have so many notes. I loved all the info about Jupiter's backstory.
It was nice to finally put that into play and get a little bit more of where Jupiter comes from. But yeah, and what questions, comments, concerns, clarifications, anything we want to go over?
I
Sarah does a
texted you a
back-
question,
I'll get to it. Yeah, my phone was
but it
blowing
wasn't.
up.
It wasn't really like super relevant to this episode.
Okay, I'll get to it.
No worries.
I'm probably gonna have